Hi, hello, bubuhay. I am Leslie A. Paraiso from BS80 English 1A. Today we will going to know about these 30 words that is related into Linguistic 2, which is language, culture, and society. Linguistic. What does this word is all about? For your information, it is a study of human language, or should I say it is a scientific study of language. Regional language is structured system or communication that consists of grammar, vocabulary, because in the field of linguistics, its focus is the systematic investigations of the properties of particular languages as well as the characteristic of language in general. And in language, there are rules, and one of it is the grammar. Using correct grammar makes listening and reading easier. Agree? Yes, because using this, it helps us to make sense of our words. There are language acquisitions by which how humans acquire the capacity to perceive and comprehend language. One of it is our first language is the mother tongue or native language of a person. Example, I am born and raised, which my family uses Chavacano. Then my mother tongue or first language would be Chavacano as well. Second language acquisition is the second language or sequential language acquisition. It is learning a second language after a first language is already established. Many times this happens when a child who speaks a language other than English goes to school or the first time. It may be a neighboring language, another language of the speaker's home country or foreign language. When we say foreign language, it is the language that is not widely spoken or used by people of community, society, or nation. In other words, it refers to any language that is spoken by people of a specific place. There were 12 types of language. A variety terms distinguish the kinds of languages and vocabularies that exist outside the mainstream of standard. One of these is lingua franca, which is adopted as a common tongue to enable communication between speakers or separate languages to pidgins, creoles. Both admixtures of two or more languages are also considered lingua francas. Second type of language is pidgin. Pidgin is a simplified language arising from the efforts of people speaking different languages to communicate is a pidgin. This language generally developed to facilitate trade between people without common language. In time, pidgins often evolves into creoles. Third is what we call as creoles. A creole is a more sophisticated development of a pidgin, derived from two or more parent languages and used by people all ages as a native language. Another one is dialect. A dialect is the way of speaking based on geographical or social factors. There is also lexicon of language. It is the knowledge that a speaker has about the words of language. This includes meanings, uses, forms, and relationship with other words. Well, this lexeme means a basic lexical unit of language consisting one word or several words considered as an abstract unit and applied to a family of words realities by form or meaning. In language, there are skills in language learning. When we learn our native language, we usually learn to listen first, then to speak, then to read, then to finally write. That these are called the four language skills, also known as macro skills. Macro skills are most commonly referred to listening, speaking, reading, writing, English in English language. The other one is micro skill. Micro skill are the basic counseling skills that consist rapport building and begin the therapeutic process. They include listening, nonverbal communication, silence, empathy, and responding. Example of it is reflections, questioning, summarizing, and paraphrasing. In addition, linguists' interest in language structure consider the formal properties of language, including morphology. Morphology it is the study of words and their parts. Morphemes like prefixes, suffixes, base words are defined as the smallest meaningful units of meaning. Morphemes are important for phonics in both reading and spelling, as well as in vocabulary and comprehension. syntax and arrangement of words in a sentence, clauses, and phrases, and the study of formation of sentence and the relationship of their component parts, or what do we call syntax. Phonetics deals with the production of speech, sounds by humans often without a prior knowledge of the language being spoken. Phonology is about the patterns of sound, especially different patterns of sounds in languages when different sound in different position pattern between them. That's what we call the phonetics or the phonology. Semantics and pragmatics are the study of meaning communicated through language. Linguistics who work in this branch of linguists are interested in the ways in which words acquire meaning and the process by which native users of language are able to give stable interpretation to word string, meaning in language, which is what we call semantics and pragmatics. There is also what we call the International Phonetic Alphabet or what we call the IPA. It is an alphabetic system of phonetic notation based on primarily on the Latin script. Linguists uses the IPA to transcribe speech sounds from all languages. When we use the phonetic alphabet, we're not writing in the normal sense. We are putting down a visual representation of sound, so we call it as phonetic transcription. This understanding of linguistic competence implies that grammar and vocabulary should not be taught in isolation. Instead, they should be introduced within themes and topics. For example, words such as contaminate, domestic waste, and toxic can be introduced when discussing pollution. In linguistic competence is the study of unconscious knowledge that one knows when they know a language. It is distinguished from linguistic performance, which includes all the other factors that allows one to use one language in practice. Linguistics is a major that provides insight into one of the most intriguing aspects of human knowledge and behavior. Majoring in linguistics means learning about many aspects of human language, so we must have the eager heart to learn more about linguistic because linguistic is quite more fun. Again, I am Leslie Fortiso from BSAD Language Recording. Thank you.